There. Oh, it says only got 12 minutes 48 seconds left. It's not going to take long. Let me turn this fan off. Of course, there's always somebody outside. Okay, so I just had a thought while I was watching More Plates. More Plates, More Dates. There's two more people that just wanted to join Savage Kings. As probably one of the only people that on purpose stopped taking all hormone therapy, all supplements, everything except for basic stuff, fish oil, greens, when I could afford it, all the rest of the stuff. I actually think I did myself a great service. So while I wasn't running around being as productive as everybody else, my body was healing, because your body, after you do this huge blast of super physiologic dosages, even if it's just 50% or even only 100% more, let alone 1,500 milligrams a week of base testosterone, stuff like that. With crazy little experiments for a couple of months, I didn't even do that. It's just that's arrested development up here. Okay, folks. Basically, your body doesn't bring back your testosterone production because it realizes that you've decreased your lifespan X amount or whatever, and it's just going slow down. Because I've heard a number of different definitions of depression. One of them from kind of the spiritual side, the Taoist freaking Eckhart Tolle kind of thing. It would be let's see, this is from the Tao of Equus, Horus cards, and it was depression is the emergency brake of the soul. Well, yeah, when you're not doing what you're truly meant to be doing, Eckhart, your whole true life's purpose kind of thing. Some people become a dentist and they were supposed to be an artist or something. Who knows, right? Money versus poor starving artist kind of thing. I'm a starving social scientist. I'm a scientist. And I really love the sociology, the social aspect of it. And yeah, that's what happened. I'm healthy. I look younger than people are like, are you 30? Shave the stupid beard off. Wait till I puff my face out. I haven't had any fat on my face for years. I've been down to skeleton status to get rid of all that. And even that doesn't get rid of all the pockets of fat that you don't see when you're stretched out, right? I know exactly what I look like, how much visceral fat and all the rest of the stuff that I have. I've got it basically down to nothing, using nothing, right? So even at $1.60, I've been down to 151 pounds. It's right? It still looks cool. It's gnarly. It's I got old muscle. It's 10 years old training, never missed a workout from the day I touched that first barbell in my basement. That was it. There was 10 exercises, start, finish, just black and white. It even had the round old school barbell things in the pictures. It's old school. And I could curl the darn thing with one hand, almost, right? So, but I still followed it. So that became 24 years that I put my entire life into it. My life was bodybuilding. My jobs revolved around it, money revolved around it, my lifestyle, the reason why I got married, all these things hinged on it. And then I just went, because bodybuilding was juice. I got told that it's true. But the juice that I was talking about was Frank Zane. They called him the chemist, not because he took a pile of stuff, because he took a whole bunch of different things and not much of any one. And he only ever got up to light heavyweight status, really. Really, he won the Mr. Olympia and beat other people that were going to be Mr. Olympia for a long time at under 200 pounds. It's wow, it's crazy. And now, just like me, he's and he's all happy and chilled out, and he's just probably watching going. And I've met him. He's even smaller than me. So if you're a smaller frame, you can get away with being big and huge and jacked. Nick Walker right now, wow, does that guy really good? Just I'm impressed. Like I'm not really into all the mass monsters now, but he's going to refine it, and I think he's doing what I've said to myself. If I had made the decision, I'm like, okay, knowing what I know now, if I had genetics like that, which I do, I would just been like, yeah, I went all out. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to be like, yeah, he could win it 10 times as long as he can then just cruise, because it does not take that high of a dosage to maintain that mass, and then you can just blip it, right? It's just my thoughts on it, right? I got a very creative mind when it comes to that stuff, and now knowing what I know about the mitochondria and how crucial they are, like they are your metabolism. Everything else is just a feeder system for them, and then they fart out a waste product because they're actually there to protect us from radiation and themselves. That's their main job. It's not moving us around. Thinking, consciousness, neurochemicals, brain, heart, gut, muscles, last on the list, right? Not 100%, but you can get the picture. It's like, hey, your body's going to let yourself have a sore knee before it's going to let you have a sore brain if it can help it. Because the brain is what controls all the rest, and then connects you to your mind, which is actually in what they call the field, and you access different levels of mind through different levels of energy, which produce different levels of neurochemicals, right? And they're all supposed to go like this, all of them at the same time. They don't go, right? Well, that's what's happening right now. So if you're messing around with one artificially, dopamine, right? And you're taking huge, like mega super physiologic dosages of exogenous anabolic androgenic steroids of all different kinds, and you're binding like all these different receptors, and you're just totally overpowering your body's natural homeostatic mechanism. It says Eric Morrison's supposed to be 5'9" and 165 pounds, soaking wet with whatever normal body fat is, which is what I am right now, basically. This is what I measured out. Kinesiology it was like, yep, wrist size, circumference, all the rest of it, $170. Basically. This is no working out, no weights, no nothing. And literally for 12 years, I have not touched testosterone. So there was once I did like a little right at the very beginning, because Dr. Connor's the anabolic doc, took care of me, and he tried to get me to do it. And I can either look at that now and go, fuck, I just fucked myself out of 12 years of complete focus, no ADD, and imaginary short-term memory stuff. It's not imaginary. It's like when you go from dopamine up here, like I was on like the original hydroxycut stack for like 12 years solid too, at the same time. Plus a very potent nootropic to help me sleep when I was in university, training and competing and working 2 different jobs at the same time as doing a full course load in Kin Health Sci. You want to talk about overachiever? I'm a perfectionist, just people don't see it. They're like, oh, this room's messy or whatever. That doesn't mean you're not a perfectionist. I just know that I'm not gonna have a perfect room, so I just don't bother. See the logic there? Ah. So anyway, Nick Walker has a shorter structure. He can put way less muscle tissue on, and it looks like way more, and he has crazy muscle bellies and everything, so he can actually do this. It's like, what I read it somewhere. It's like every inch taller you are, like literally you have to almost put on like another like 20. It's different on camera too, but it's some big number. It's like you gotta get like that much bigger to look the same size and everything as someone that's even 1 inch shorter. And then that's not even taking into account like how big your bones are. Like you get some Ethiopian guy and he doesn't get tall for some reason, right? And they got like these wispy little bones. It's like their muscle bones. Crazy. And then if they actually live natural, like they did back in the golden era when there was just like basically less than 100 dudes doing all this stuff. It's like this secret society. It's like, got this stuff, it's called Dianabol, man. Like, oh. Which, by the way, Dianabol was made for athletics. That's why it doesn't exist anymore. They had to, put that aside and kind of forget all about that, because that was the US's answer to all the Eastern Bloc, like, you know, test suspension, fucking methyl test. I had this thing with one thing. It was like a custom one. It was like half methyl test and half oxymethyl Anadrol 50. I didn't like Anadrol. Just never did nothing. It's just a water retainer. I'm not a water retainer, so why would I use it? Half methyl test, half that. I told all of my clientele, this is what this is the price. Here, I'll give you like 10 or whatever. It's like, as soon as the envelope landed, just like, could I get another like 1,000 of those? How much were they? It's like, no problem. I was sold out every month on those. It's crazy. It's like super stoke you up in the gym, and if you were somebody that was a newbie, and like not, you'd always try to talk them out of it, you know. The good Samaritan steroid dealer that got into it not because he planned it, just happened to fall in his lap like everything else. And then I always just, I don't know, it was the thrill too, right? Sweating, writing on your laptop, got your glasses on and everything, dressed up like a businessman, except you're like, and you got these 2 huge suitcases, and each one of them's like 180 pounds of fucking amps. And people now are like, my phone. You want to talk about excitement? Bodybuilding was a lifestyle. You could choose whatever you wanted to be. You could be the gym rat, you could be the water bag, you could be the whatever. You could be the guy that like benched 300 and did whatever, or the guy that like wore 3 t-shirts and did never roll his sleeves up because he thought he had skinny arms. Meanwhile, he could like curl the whole fucking stack on the Cybex machine with a 45-pound plate stuck on the side of it with one hand, just like this. Big grin on his face. Big Jim. Oh man, he was awesome. He did a little time on the door with me. No one ever screwed around with him. He was just built like a, well, he was the literal like brick shithouse. Like he might have looked kind of watery in the face a bit, but if he ever took his shirt off, that guy was like contest ready year round. He just never showed anybody. He was an introvert. Yeah. So here we are, 12:48 coming up, and yeah, now I'm doing test replacement with such